What are the biggest scams going on right now? You want to listen to this episode because we're going to cover some that are getting a lot of people. You need to be safe. You need to listen all the way through.
We hope you've been enjoying all the episodes from Secure Your Retirement. If you'd like to keep learning and receiving these episodes, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you receive alerts when they come out. We've helped thousands of listeners get on the path to securing their retirement. Now it's your turn. Let's dive in.
Welcome, everyone, to Secure Your Retirement Podcast. Today is a very important podcast. This is something that is becoming more and more of an issue, and that is scams. And they are coming from every single direction. It is something that at our firm at Peace of Mind Wealth Management, we train on it every single month. There's always something new, things that are coming at us. And here's the nice thing. Experts tell us, and we know that when we talk about these things, they are not meant to scare you. They are meant to inform you. And it equips us to not get scammed. It equips us to be cautious. We learn about new tools like AI, or we learn about new scams, how people are trying things. And when we learn about it, yes, it makes us a little skeptical, but that's okay. It's okay to be a little skeptical, because if we're skeptical, we're going to double and triple and quadruple check things before we give away private information, before we give away any payment information, before we do any of those things. And so today, we're sitting here at a time that's really close to the end of the year, a time when you would think people would just be nice, but that's not the case. It's just we don't live in a world where everybody's nice. We have some nice people, but we got people trying to take advantage of other good, nice people. So we want to kind of update you on some scams that we are seeing, things that we're hearing about, again, to educate, not to scare. All right. Set that up pretty good there, Merce. So don't scare anybody too bad.
Yeah.
What's our first thing we want to talk about?
So the first one that is becoming more and more popular is this idea of holiday gift card scams. So especially right now, it is holiday season. And a lot of the way the world operates right now, it's just so much easier to go get a gift card than it is to try to figure out what someone wants and go buy them a gift. So gift cards have become a very common gifting technique, and they can be delivered online. They can be delivered through the mail, or you can go buy them at the store. And so what a lot of the scams around these are becoming is you have people calling you up, emailing you and saying that you owe a balance or something like that, and they're wanting to get paid in gift cards, or they're asking you to go get gift cards to make payments to catch you up so you don't get in trouble. So we've heard of people impersonating the IRS, saying you owe on back taxes, or you owe this penalty or that penalty. And the amount of urgency they put around this conversation, especially if they get you on the phone, they scare you into thinking that they are actually the IRS. Whereas if you go to the IRS's website, they make it very clear that they don't make personal phone calls. Everything they do is through letters. And so just be very wary if you get called up and you think, or they're trying to convince you that you owe some money, or you had this service done and you owe for an invoice. Or even you get an email from someone who you think is your friend or family member or child or grandchild, emailing saying, hey, I just want a gift card this year. Send it to this email. It could be an email that's been compromised. And while normally it's very easy to just do that, you want to be very, very careful about the emails and the texts and the phone calls that we are receiving today. On the email side, a very easy thing to do is check where that email actually came from. So check the what comes after the @ symbol. So is it at gmail.com or is it at irs.gov, right? Look for where it comes from. And if it doesn't make sense, or you have a question about it, well, question it even more, because that's where the most common scams are right now, is through email and text. And they just get you engaged, and then they have ways and tactics to get you to give them money or send them a gift card number or a PIN or something like that. So that's a big one. Be careful about the holiday gift card scams going on right now. Radon, I know you went through something personally here that you shared with our team, and it was quite the entertaining story. I'm glad you came out, not scarred by it, but it's a good one to tell. So go ahead.
Yeah. So now we know we have listeners all over the country and even some outside of the country. So where we are from our office and where we reside is in Raleigh, North Carolina. So our local county is Wake County. But I got a call just the other day as I was pulling up to the office. So, early morning, and the person cuts on the phone and says, "Is this Raiden Stansel?" I said, "Yes." Very confident sounding person. And they said, "This is, sheriff deputy with the local Wake County Sheriff's Department." Well, that nothing there other was sounded fishy to me. What was concerning to me is I've got two children, and I immediately thought they're in trouble. There's some kind of problem. So just think about the context. I mean, this is a really good scam of when it, because it's going to hit the emotion. I mean, instantly you're probably going to think about a family member. You're going to think about something that throws you emotionally off. So immediately I was like very much in tune as to what was next. And after I verified that he was talking to me, I was now listening intently, and he says, "Let's get down to business." And I said, "Okay." And he says, "Why did you not show up for jury duty on this specific date that you were supposed to show up for jury duty?" I said, "I didn't have anything for jury duty. I've never gotten anything for jury duty." And he said, "So you didn't get and sign a certified copy of a mail that you got in the mail and he made it like a grand jury. This is what you're going to be in." Well, I'm like, "No, I did not get that." He goes, "Is it possible anybody else signed for you?" I said, "No, it is not possible because my wife is very good about details. She would have told me if she signed for anything." And so basically, he then goes on to tell the story that there are 2 citations out for my arrest. And he says, "Can you make it down to the Wake County Sheriff's Department?" And I said, "What's the address?" And he said, the address, 330 South Salisbury Street, which is right downtown. Well, I'm on my phone and I'm Googling where is the Wake County Sheriff's Department, and it's right. So nothing at this point is sounding crazy other than the fact that you're going to get arrested for not going to a jury duty. That part, my brain was questioning a little bit, but it was like, come to the Wake County Sheriff's Department, and if you come down here, we'll basically won't arrest you. Well, I'm like, well, that sounds pretty normal, I guess. I mean, I don't know. He said they're doing a courtesy call because they think this is a mistake, and I'm like, okay, well, that's nice. Well, then that's where the story shifted, because now he tells me I have to stay on the phone with him all the way to the Wake County Sheriff's Department, which made me a little bit worried because I'm like, why are they tracking me? What's going on? But then very quickly the story shifted again, and it was like, hold on, you're going to talk to my captain. And now they start talking to me about the penalties. Well, as they're doing this, now my brain is catching up with this doesn't seem accurate. And so by this time now, I'm Googling, what if someone calls you from the sheriff's department? Number one thing comes up, this is a scam. And so it tells you basically you should hang up. And what it is, which is really, really tricky, is when he said the captain's about to call you, it was coming from the exact number of the Wake County Sheriff's Department. And he said what they're doing, when you look it up online, is they are spoofing that address or that phone number. So the number one thing it said, just like the IRS, the Wake County Sheriff's Department, the police department is not going to call you about a warrant for your arrest, jury duty. They don't do that. They'll send you documentation, but they're not going to call you. But it threw my brain off on that one little emotion, thinking maybe my kid's in trouble, and it just threw me off of my thinking. I did not share any information with them. We were headed down that direction, though, meaning that they were headed down the direction where they were going to start to tell me that I could pay this online and delay until I could get to the next thing. Because I think it threw them off because I said I could be there in 15 minutes. And I think that threw them off because I'm sure most people will be like, I'm already at work. I can't get down to the sheriff's department right now. It'll be tomorrow. Or I'm out of town, and that's where they could kind of go down this whole path. So here's the information. If you ever get a call from a police department, sheriff's department, and they are telling you that you have a warrant for your arrest, or they're telling you that you didn't show up for jury duty, it is a scam. Number one thing to do, hang up. You do not want to stay on the phone with them because all they're going to do is start trying to verify information, get information, trying to collect money. So be careful. And remember, the caller ID could come up as the Wake County Sheriff Department, the police department, any of those things. It could come up as that. Remember, they don't call you for that. They'll send you documentation. You may actually have a sheriff show up at your house to arrest you if you really had one out there, but they're not going to call you and tell you that that's the case. So very heavy lesson learned on a scam that is going on here in the Raleigh area. I'm sure they're using it in other parts of the country. All right, let's hit our next one, Merce.
All right. So this one it makes you, I mean, we're trying not to scare people, but this one just creeps me out a little bit just because, a lot of what we've experienced is over the phone, through text, through email, like the phone call that you got from the sheriff's department, like a lot of the emails that we see coming through. But this one is actually in person, door to door type of sales. And what we're seeing here is kind of more focus on home improvement or making you think that you need to get something done at your house. And so how this has been working is they knock on your door and they'll say something like, "Hey, we're working in your neighborhood and our crew's already here, so we'll give you a discount on a service, whether that's tree trimming or taking a look at your roof or landscaping or whatever it is, to put the mulch down, or we've got extra concrete from this driveway that we just poured over there. You've got cracks in your concrete, we could fix that up for you." And so they're just trying to get you to engage and recognize that while you didn't think there was a problem, they see a problem that needs fixing. And they'll get you to engage either through saying it's a really good deal and they make the numbers look really attractive, or maybe they ask for a small deposit up front for the services, and then the team will come back, in a week or so to complete the actual work. And so they get some money up front, and guess what? You never see them. Or we've heard of examples where they'll give you a number as far as what it's going to cost to do whatever type of home improvement that they recommend, and it seems like a very attractive number, and then they say, "Oh, we didn't see this, we didn't see that," and your number starts to double and triple. So it's all these different types of scams that are being done face to face. It's so if you're in this type of scenario and you start hearing or you start feeling like it's a deal that's too good to be true, or there's a lot of high pressure. We know in the door-to-door world, it just always feels uncomfortable and high pressure, but unusually high pressure, I guess, if you feel that, or they're not giving you a written estimate, or you're not seeing a car that has a logo on it, that resembles a company that you're aware of. All these things are things to take into account if you open up that door, but I think a lot of today people aren't opening that door. So just be vigilant. That's kind of the story here, is that the scams and the creativity that we're seeing in this world is getting better and better. So you just need to always be asking yourself, does this seem too good to be true? Is this legitimate? And at the end of the day, there's no reason to make a decision on the spot. That's what they want. The second you make an engagement with them, they know that they've got someone that they can bend that will a little bit. So just be careful, be vigilant. The big one though, Raiden, is all around the email, online, and social media stuff. What are we seeing over there?
Yeah, this is by far the biggest. And I think this is the one that most people get wrapped up in because things come through that look real legit. And before we know it, we click on something. And I mean, some of the big ones are, I've gotten ones where I get a text message that says, "We just charged you $1,100 for your new iPhone. It's supposed to be here in 2 weeks. If this is a mistake, click here." Well, my brain, if you don't think for a second, you're going, "I didn't get an iPhone. I got to stop this right now." And that's all they want you to do, is to click on that link and provide them with information. If you didn't order an iPhone, if you didn't order something on Amazon, don't click on the link. Get off of that and go to the Amazon or go to the iPhone or go to Apple rather. Go to the source. Don't try to deal with it through that. So you got to act, you got to be vigilant about your thoughts, because sometimes we get so busy, we just click before we think. Another big one is email. An email is very difficult. We, through our system here at Peace of Mind Wealth Management, we actually have a service that sends fake emails to us, all of us as employees, to make sure we're not clicking. Because if we click on it, it's going to come up and it's going to say, "Hey, this was not real." And it's going to now teach you a lesson, and it does a mark, and then we got to talk about it if you click on that. So nobody wants to click on anything because you shouldn't. So if I get an email from something that says, "Click here to do this or that," it's better to get out of the email and go to the site itself. So instead of getting an email from Amazon and saying, "I got to click on something to verify," which they never ask you to do that, by the way, but then just go to Amazon. Go to your Amazon account and click in that way. It's safe. The other big one is that your friend who you know really well emails you and asks you a question. Be very careful. Always check and just go click on the email address. And if you know your email, like if I know that it's mercetariq@gmail.com and I click on it and it's some big long numbers at gmail.com, that's not Merce. Now, Merce could be emailing me and asking me that he needs help. He needs some information or needs help because he's got a problem. Hey, can you send me some money? I got in trouble and I just need you to send me something, right? And a big one in what we get is as a company is I'll get an email from almost every one of the employees. The nice thing is they do it enough that it'll say to me, hey, I'm updated my checking account. Please update my payroll. Well, I know we're never going to do that because they know not to do that. So those are big bad signs that you can get. But if you're not thinking, you're going to click on something in an email. Another big one is you've got a problem. It'll tell you that if you go Windows, there's a problem with your Windows, and so you've got a problem when you've got a virus. Click here to clean up the virus, or click here to talk to Microsoft about this virus. That is all fake because they want to get your information. So just be very careful. Always look at who the email's from. And if I got an email from a friend saying I need help, I'm not going to reply to the email. I'm going to call my friend and I'm going to call them on their number. I'm not going to, because another one is they could go, hey, I don't have my cell phone. Call me at this number. Not real. Not real. They're just trying to give you to another that they can get to somebody who might sound like your friend, because you can do that with AI. So call them. If you cannot call them on their number, on that number that you've got for them, your friend will be okay. You can help them out later. It is 99.999% a chance of it being a scam. So be careful, be vigilant. All right, Merce, let's sum this up.
Yeah, so the moral of the story is be vigilant, especially with the AI stuff that is coming around and becoming more and more popular, the voice cloning and the deep fakes and the videos and all these different things. We got to be vigilant and ask ourselves, is this legitimate? Is this deal too good to be true? Why do they want me to click on this, right? And so, things to be aware of, red flag wise. If there's urgency behind something, ask yourself, why is this such an urgent decision that needs to be made right now? If they're asking for weird payment methods like gift cards or cryptocurrency, or using apps like Venmo and PayPal and all those different things, or wire transfers, all of these are red flags when it comes to payments. We talked about web links. Be aware of the ones that you're clicking on, and don't give out your information. Don't give out your social security number or bank account numbers or PINs or passwords or any of that stuff. No real institution is going to need that up until a certain point, right? If you're opening an account with a bank or something like that, eventually you'll have to give that, but they're not calling you and saying, hey, let's open up an account, give me your social, right? That's a whole different conversation. If you're in that scenario, just be aware, and there's nothing wrong with hanging up the phone. I know sometimes we're just too polite and we don't want to hang up, but if you know you're in it, just hang it up and don't give out any more information. Call the organization itself. Like Rayton said, Amazon could send you certain things, or you could have a local organization that you work with that has been hacked or something like that. Call the organization directly and say, hey, did you send me this email? Or go to their website. And if you feel so inclined, there are agencies that you can report these phishing scams and things like that too. So at the end of the day, technology has been great to us. It will continue to be great to us. But with that, as always, there's going to be bad actors. And so we just have to be prepared for it, especially as we head into this holiday season.
Okay, everyone. We certainly appreciate you listening to us today. If you ever want to talk about any things we've ever talked about, please always feel free to reach out to us. Just go to our website, pomwealth.net, go to the Contact Us page, and we would love to be able to have a conversation with you on the phone, on Zoom, in the office, whatever's comfortable for you. As always, we hope you have a great week. We'll talk to you again next Monday. We hope you have enjoyed this episode of Secure Your Retirement. If you would like to learn more, we have actually created an online course called 3 Keys to Secure Your Retirement. This video course helps you to think through all the different steps as you get ready to plan for and live throughout retirement. You can access this by going to our website, pomwealth.net. In addition, you can also subscribe below to our podcast called Secure Your Retirement.
For more retirement tips, check out these videos. Also, if you find them valuable, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us a like.